everybody, Dana Litwin here again, and welcome back to Tuesday Tips for Leaders of Volunteers. This week, talking about kind of giving a debriefing or report about a conference or webinar or workshop learning experience. We've very recently had the Points of Light conference and the MAVA conference, and kind of spring summer tends to be pretty busy conference season. Sometimes that happens in the fall a little bit too, or you might have a local Dovia or association putting on an event. And years ago, with an agency I worked with, I got a new manager who was very, very supportive, very different from a previous manager. And he actually asked me to relate in a report of what I learned at a conference or if I attended a workshop or a webinar, and how that directly applied to the work I was doing, engaging volunteers, if I learned anything new about technologies we might adopt or best practices. And this was 10-ish or so years ago, kind of a little mid-career for me. And I've loved that request, and I want to have you maybe suggest that to your boss, or just go ahead and write up just a quick briefing. It could be an email, it could be with some links to other materials if you've attended Points of Light or MAVA or other conferences or learning events. But it really it helped me directly in my career. It helped me get promoted, it helped me get a raise, it helped me get more respect and responsibility from the board and the leadership team. Really kind of solidified the value of volunteer engagement and the volunteer program to the general manager, executive director, kind of higher up decision makers. They started to really understand the value of volunteer engagement, strategic volunteer engagement, because I was able to directly tie improvements in our programs or innovations to what I had learned. This also helps set you up, and I've done, Carve Your Own Path and some other career advice before, for letting anyone and everyone know that you are a leader, you're the in-house expert on volunteer engagement, and that you're taking your career development seriously. Report or a quick 5-minute or 10-minute standing meeting of the basics really just depends on your time and your boss's time, but this is a really great practice to solidify you as a professional leader of volunteers in your organization, especially when you're very excited about, I just learned the coolest things at Points of Light last week, or there was a fantastic session at MAVA, or Alive just had a fantastic program and webinar about this topic that I've been wanting to learn more about. Tie that enthusiasm and that passion, that interest together into real issues or challenges, or create solutions from what you've learned within your organization. And that's also going to help you get buy-in from the leadership, potentially, at least hopefully with your immediate supervisor or others in your department, to take action on these things. So if there's something that you've been hoping to accomplish or trying to convince the budget deciders that they need to reinvest in something for your volunteer program, if you can directly tie in what you've recently learned with links to additional resources from the person who did the session or from the conference itself or a recording of the webinar, then that really kind of helps you make the case for changes in that, a lot of organizations are taking this topic seriously, or this is how they're addressing it, or this is how they're solving this problem, and it doesn't seem like you're the lone voice of reason in the entire volunteer services department or in your entire organization. You can also, of course, utilize these reports to help remind you or to turn in as professional development units. So if you're a CVA or a CAVS or have some other certification where you have a requirement to recertify and prove that you are still on a learning journey and improving yourself as a professional leader of volunteers, having these reports ready just kind of takes another task off your list when it's time to turn in your homework for a certification or a recertification. And I also want to just give a little bit of a shout out to everyone who had their sessions accepted to Points of Light for the first time, particularly Jamise Robinson, your rock star, and all of the fan favorites that really made Points of Light, from what I'm hearing, a fantastic experience. So if you're interested in what conferences are happening or how you can get involved as a presenter, then a really great one-stop shopping for that, whether you're a member of it or not, is the Alive website. So volunteeralive.org has a great calendar of events, local and national or even international, like IAVE puts on a conference that I think is going to be in Busan, Korea in the fall. But if you're kind of curious and want to have more professional development opportunities, it really helps to lock things like this into the budget and get support of your department, your supervisors, your decision makers to add a budget item to send you to more professional development events when they see the result in practice in the organization. So I hope you enjoyed these Tuesday tips as much as I enjoy making them for you. Please subscribe if you're not yet part of the Cool Kids Club of Priceless Advice, and like this video if you did enjoy it. Share it with your friends and colleagues and other leaders of volunteers, and we'll see you next week with more Tuesday tips. Take care.